University. Some of you may know me as a stiletto boss, and some of you may know me as a public speaker because I have been doing a lot more speaking engagements this year. I am all of those things, but today I want you to know me as someone that is helping you learn how to serve and know your greatest potential in giving back to the community. So here's a little bit about my journey thus far. So in 2013, I was working a full-time corporate job and I was definitely unfulfilled. And I came to a point in my life where I wanted to not only be happy, but I wanted to leave a legacy and feel like what I was doing was full of purpose. And I didn't know where to start. And the more I kept thinking and journaling and really outlining what my life had been up to that point, I realized that service isn't everything that I do and that I wanted to start a nonprofit. So if you know me from way back then, you know I had my first nonprofit, which was called PC Group 365. And what we did was make giving is dope. We did volunteerism. We did all the things that showed you how to give, that coordinated amazing events that help you to give back to the community. One of our signature events was the kickball tournament with the YMCA, and we would raise money for special need kids under the Miracle League organization. So fast forward into 2016, I took the leap of faith. I parted ways with my job. And then I ended up starting my second nonprofit, which is Stiletto Boss University, which is a youth entrepreneurship training program for girls age 11 through 16 that is always about collaboration, sisterhood, and community impact. This was uber important for me. It has been a life-changing thing for me in my life this far, and it has taught me the most about a nonprofit. So in 2016, after leaving my job, I was working two nonprofit organizations, PC Group and Stiletto Boss University. So let's move forward a year later. I started consulting for some local nonprofits here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I started to see the need for coaching specifically in the nonprofit industry. It was so many things that were being overlooked. It was a lot of things that people were not speaking up about that were your rights when it comes to running a nonprofit organization or being a grassroots leader, things that I experienced with my real time journey that I wanted to make sure that other nonprofit leaders did not have to go through what I did. So I started to coach beginner nonprofits leaders and on how to build a successful nonprofit organization. So fast forward to now in 2021, at the top of the year, we launched the NPO University Crew, which is an online community of nonprofit organizers. That's a private Facebook page. We also have been helping countless nonprofits start and sustain their growth. This year alone, we have helped 5 new grassroots organizations start and secure their 501c3, as well as start working immediately in the community. And we have raised over $100K in the nonprofit space. So I'm super excited about my journey thus far, and there's so much to come. But one thing I wanted to point out today is why you should not start a nonprofit. So the reason why I did all of this is I started coaching nonprofit beginners to help them regain balance in their lives while making an impact in their communities. And I want to elaborate on my why, because when I started both of my nonprofits, for some reason, people thought I had a team, and it was literally just me. And I learned how to balance through systems, but I also learned how to reclaim my time, like Auntie Maxine Waters said, and how to really use the system, decide what skill sets I was good at, what was important, and how to really build a strong foundation that's sustainable and that is lucrative to the community. So I want y'all to get y'all pens and papers out, because we're going to talk about the 5 reasons you shouldn't start a nonprofit. Are y'all ready? I hope so. So you should not start a nonprofit to get rich, okay? The nonprofit industry is a $1 trillion industry. It's literally like banks than nonprofits. Nonprofits bring in $1 trillion. In 2016 alone, the revenues of nonprofits by the IRS was 2.62 trillion US dollars, and the expenses was $2.48 trillion. But even though money is in abundance and there is no scarcity, you should not be starting a nonprofit thinking that you're going to get rich. Getting rich is not a service. You are serving people And there is a ton of money out here, but there are still gatekeepers to that money. And it also depends on your network, your social capital, and the rooms you get in, and how you communicate what you're giving to the community in order to get those funds released from you. Number 2 reason you should not start a nonprofit. You should not start a nonprofit for attention. So having influence is great, but it's not a reason to start a nonprofit. So a lot of times you see celebrities doing things like PETA, and sometimes I think celebrities do PETA because they just want to take a naked picture for the campaign, which has become very popular over the years, because we all know some of your favorite celebrities that have been a part of PETA have a nice fur or some nice leather in their closet. But with your influence, you can use that to gain popularity. You can gain awareness for your cause. Some things that I see that some influencers have gained awareness for is like autism, homelessness, affordable housing. But I want you to think about using influence in a different way. I want you to think about partnering with influencers so your niche can share with your nonprofit and leverage the followers to support it. I also think it would be a good idea to add any influencer that you know on your board, or find a cool way to collaborate with that influencer. So I'll give you an example. One of my great friends, Stacy Michelle, who is an influencer here in Charlotte, she collaborated with Stiletto Boss University to do a t-shirt line, and proceeds from that t-shirt line went into helping us to continue to expand our programming. So use influence to leverage for good, not just so you want everybody to see you and all these other things that people want to be influenced about, okay? So number 3, you should not start a nonprofit to rack up awards or accolades. So charitable giving is not for the boastful or the prideful. Now, I've received several accolades and awards for the work that I've been doing with economic empowerment, but I was not aware that I was even considered for any of these awards. Every last one came as a shock and a surprise, because if you truly know me, you know that my head is down. I'm usually in the computer. I'm usually doing something, not even truly enjoying the moment or the journey of what's happening. So I'm just here to serve. But some people do want to start nonprofits to get those awards and accolades. And really what your motivation should be is your organization's missions, goals, and the community. So number 4, you should not start a nonprofit to copy another organization's mission or goals. So we all know about Monkey See and Monkey Do, but that is really one of my biggest pet peeves. If you do not know this, in Mecklenburg County alone, there are over 4,000 registered 501c3 organizations, and some of them are duplicates on top of duplicates, and some of them are actually laying dormant. So what I would like for you to do, or encourage you to do, is if you see an organization that is similar to what you want to do, join forces with that organization by volunteering, by donating, by asking them how can you be a part of them making a difference before you even invest your money into starting a 501c3 organization. This will help a great magnitude, and it'll also help you decide if you really want to put your foot in a race in this nonprofit industry, because as you can tell, it is huge, it is big, and you have to have the time capacity to serve. So number 5, do not start a nonprofit for tax benefits. Yes, a 501c3 makes you tax exempt, and you are privy to deductions and write-offs and other benefits. But the money that you write off and any funds you received is tracked by the government through a 990, and it should be put back into your organization to serve. Literally, last night we did a training with my accountant, Samantha Porter, and we talked about all things nonprofit taxes and 990s. So I would highly encourage you to, 1, join the NPO University Crew Facebook page and look at that training. It is also on our YouTube channel. We talked about all things nonprofit taxes and all things 990. You have to report these things back. And if something does not look right, you will get audited. Okay? So one quick tip that I have for beginner organizers and anybody that I have coached, know I say this all the time. Consider a fiscal agent. And what is a fiscal agent? that is a nonprofit organization that has already been designated as a 501c3, they can actually earmark funds for you if you have an apartment or an MOU, which is Memorandum of Understanding, and you can have your supporters donate to that nonprofit, and the funds earmarked for you can come back to your organization for you to serve, and you do not have to have your own 501c3. You have an agreement and you're going to serve using that organization as a fiscal agent. And you don't have to deal with the business of nonprofits. So I highly encourage that conversation or that thought before you hop into anything. So I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to see if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns that could help you during these 5 tips as to why you should not start a nonprofit. So one question that has come up when we go back to slide number 4 is that you can research nonprofits on the IRS. So you go to the irs.gov, you can search all nonprofits, you can filter it by the state, and you can see a list of all the names of the nonprofits, and you can see their category code that shows you if they are helping in homelessness, affordable housing, education. There's different codes that you have to have designated for your nonprofit organization. So that is a way that you should look in to see if how many other organizations are similar to yours. So do we have any other questions that's in the chat? I don't see any right now. So I'm going to go back to the training. So as a recap, you should not start a nonprofit if you're trying to have monetary gain, if you're looking for attention, if you're looking to get recognition or awards, to duplicate another organization's missions, or for tax benefits. Those are the 5 reasons why you shouldn't start a nonprofit. Now, if you can say no to all those 5 reasons, then this next slide is specifically for you. So, are you ready to start something that matters? And this is really designated to my nonprofit beginners or my nonprofit beginners that are still trying to figure out their footing in the space, okay? So we are introducing to you the business of giving. So this is an intensive 12-week nonprofit building program that teaches beginners how to build a sustainable, financially independent organization in record time with no prior nonprofit experience. So what will happen is you will get an inside look at the nonprofit world and the benefits of starting a nonprofit. We will help you make a difference without being overwhelmed by all the work that nonprofits must do to just exist. You will learn to create a sustainable and scalable organization that feels like a family and not a job. And I really do love this particular part because I will say those that work underneath the Stiletto Boss University team, we definitely feel like a family, and it is the best feeling to have created something that it doesn't feel like work. Also, you'll receive actionable advertisement for industry experts in fundraising, marketing, finance, legal, and more. So what's included? You'll get 12 weeks of lessons. You'll get downloadable fill-in-the-blank workbook that is custom to your nonprofit and your idea. You'll receive live weekly coaching calls from myself. You'll get quizzes and homework. You'll get one-on-one access. We will have some of our favorite expert guest coaching sessions. You'll get amazing videos, and you'll be a part of a community of nonprofit organizers that are just like you and that are building at the same time. So today we are doing a special offer for you that are watching this particular training. And that special offer is, if you enroll today, will be $597. And all you have to do is go to our website, which you can see here at the bottom, jsmconsultingnow.com/accelerator. And when you check out, use the code MASTER. It is a business, and you have to run it accordingly like it is a business. So I'm going to stop here again to see if we have any questions or concerns or anything that I'm missing here. Okay, I don't see anything right now. So the next thing for you to do is to stay connected to us. You can join our Facebook community with NPO University Crew. It is a private Facebook page that is for you. Right now, we have several members that watch the live trainings, that go back and reference it. It is some free trainings in here that you do not want to miss. You can also join our free training on YouTube. We have a ton of training. We have a ton of experts. We have a ton of 1-minute tips that are so cool that you should look into. And also you can follow us on IG. So when does the program start? Our program starts January 2022. So we're starting the 3rd week of January 2022. And let me go back to that slide so you can see that again. We're starting January 2022. So it is great for you to kick off the new year starting to learn about how to build this business of giving. We're doing this specifically for you at this time, simply because you just watched this free training on why you shouldn't start a nonprofit and you're still here with me. So we also have another question. Who should sign up? You should sign up if you are interested in starting a nonprofit, if you've already submitted your 501c3 paperwork and you're waiting to hear back. You should start up if you have no clue how to build a nonprofit. And when I say build a nonprofit, it's more than just getting your tax exempt status. You need to make sure you have the right board in place. You need to make sure you have the right legal structures. You need to make sure that you have all the things in place that will help you be a better nonprofit. Also, it helps you with your marketing. It helps you with your taxes. It helps you with landing grant writing and financial corporate sponsors. So you need to sign up for that if you're interested in all of that. Let me check to make sure we don't have any other questions. Hold on for 1 second. Okay, so one question is, what is the difference between NPO University Crew and the Accelerator? The Accelerator program is 12 weeks of hands-on discussions. It is 12 weeks of content that is exclusively built for you. NPO University is general information that you can have and that you can use, but it's not hands-on. It is something that you go to look at, to learn from, but it's not hands-on. You will not get me live. You will not get any additional experts. You will not get a workbook. So those are the two differences between NPO University Crew. This price will last, I said only today, but this price will last by the end of this month if you watch this particular code. Do not share this code with anybody else. The code has to be if you watch this particular masterclass. And we'll also send it out to you directly via email if you miss the link and the offer. We will send this out immediately after this. So let me see if I have any more questions. I'm looking over and getting help by being managed over here. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any additional questions. So I thank you today for your time, for your lunch break hour. I only took about 20 minutes letting you know about the 5 reasons you shouldn't start a nonprofit. Also letting you know how we can help you to move forward with JSM Consulting. Remember to stay connected, to join our YouTube page, to join our Facebook page, and also to stay connected with us on all social media platforms at JSM Consulting Now. I hope you have a blessed day, and we hope to see you in the business of giving. Have a good evening.